Hey guys, it's Runuchi back here for another What If video. Today we're doing What If Naruto Had a Gamer Part 6. Anyways, let's begin the What If video. So first, make sure to like and subscribe if you didn't already. And hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So first, let's get a little, I'll just say it in the actual What If. Last time on What If Naruto Had a Gamer, Naruto had just fought and defeated the one-tailed beast, and due to Kurama using one of his special abilities as the helper of the gamer system, Naruto, instead of only upping his level cap by 10, upped it by 30. As Kurama now helped Naruto up a lot, as being level 43 like he was before wasn't very well, as it made him, for his stats, as most tuning were around level 30, well, at least Iruka was, that made him around special joning level, which Naruto just didn't really want to be at that low of a level. Since that Tokobetsu Jonin, though, come on, original timeline Naruto was way stronger than that. Anyways, after Naruto defeated Gaara, Naruto leveled up enough times for him to reach level 50. Meanwhile, the third Hokage and the fourth Kazekage were talking together and came to the conclusion that they needed to stunt Naruto's progress, as Raza was feeling a bit threatened at the power of the Hidden Leafs Jinchuriki, though was also feeling relieved that they were an ally and not an enemy. Though Raza doesn't want anything to go against him, as Raza feared the power Naruto held, and they came to the conclusion that Naruto wasn't wise enough. Too bad for them, they didn't know Naruto's highest stat was wisdom. Pretty sure it should be at like 70 right now. Anyways, let's continue on with it. Also, just ignore what happened. I'm pretty sure Roblox is glitching. Anyways, now let's actually get to the what if. Naruto would be going around after the defeat of Shukaku, as Naruto was extremely injured and his wounds though were sort of healed. They weren't fully healed, as he still had scratches around him and barely had any chakra left, though there was more than enough that he could use to create or use a few A-rank jutsu. Well, more like the 20 water jets jutsu, even in the sandy environment. As Naruto would then see a gold dust platform coming towards him, as Naruto would see that it was Hiruzen and Raza. As Hiruzen and Raza would talk to Naruto, Raza and Hiruzen both congratulated Naruto, though Hiruzen stated that whoever instigated the event is gonna be punished due to it technically breaking the law and attacking part of the landscape. Though if Gaara attacked first, then the punishment for Naruto would be lightened, as they would begin to think of a punishment, and one that would make sure Naruto doesn't get too strong was to have Anbu watch on him. Hiruzen then told Naruto that he would have Anbu on watch for him for the next 2 years, as there were only 2 years left in the academy. Naruto would agree to that. By the way, the age where the academy ends, to me, is 13, as the time skip was said to be 2.5 years, and during the war arc, Like the time where Obito became the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, it was almost the day of Naruto's birth. So yeah, that's how I see it at least. Anyways, they would soon return to the village after Hiruzen and Raza using their chakra together, as Hiruzen wasn't able to easily perform the 5-element seal anymore due to his old age, that is. Though with some of Raza's help, Hiruzen was able to do it and made a advanced version of the 5-element seal that would last longer than the normal one does. Though it didn't take away all of Gaara's sand, as Gaara could still use the sand armor and around 3 liters of sand, not enough to cover someone, though his control over sand had greatly gone down. Anyways, as they returned to the village for the next few months, Naruto would realize after 3 months that he was barely getting stronger faster than when the level cap was on. That was because Naruto couldn't do much with the Anbu on watch for him. If he went to a training ground, what'll that do? He goes to a training ground and looky, Anbu will see monsters attacking him, blah, blah, blah. He'd have to explain himself. If he went into a dungeon, he'd have to be quick in around 1 minute's time. And that would have to be like at a private moment, as Anbu were on watch for him. So yeah, Naruto's having difficulty training. Luckily, he can still complete the basic quests of training at a non-mob training field, like Training Ground 4. Or Naruto can complete the quests to go to the academy. Though Naruto can't reveal too much of his skills, Naruto is being on deeper watch than before, so Naruto has to be more careful. As Naruto can't reveal that he's able to do the 4th wind element exercise. Though Naruto still wonders what he can do, Naruto was beginning to get sick of it. He went outside of the village to get stronger, and he made it worse. If he hits the level cap in the 2 years, which in the 2 years he might have been able to take out an A-rank ninja without anyone seeing it. But instead, that didn't happen, and now he wouldn't make much progress for 2 years. He'd be lucky if he made it to level 60. As Naruto would try to continue thinking of a way to, escape the Anbu's watch and get more powerful, Naruto would come to the conclusion that if he created some water clones, that he'd be able to leave to train. Though Naruto was only able to do it when he was near a training ground, so Naruto only managed to get 4 kills any day when he passed a training field. So yeah, Naruto's amount of XP gain was far too little for him, as Naruto would remember that other clones may last more than 20 meters away from the original. Though Naruto would know that it would be difficult to find a clone technique that could last for a long time, until Naruto thought of something. Naruto could just try to create his own clone jutsu, as Naruto would only do it when it's at things like private moments, either when he's in the washroom, which the Anbu wouldn't go into, or if he's, just trying to test something, like if he's in the academy. During the hallways, of course, since in the classroom it wouldn't do much. Or Naruto pulls a prank with a lot of smoke, then Naruto can try something. Other than that, Naruto can't think of much else he could try. As Naruto would then decide that he'd have to find a way to outsmart the Anbu. As Naruto would continue to try to create a solid clone, though it wouldn't work until Naruto heard of the concept of the regular clone jutsu. Naruto would begin to experiment with it and would find out that he couldn't create a few normal clones. Though Naruto would soon find out that he could create 1,000 at the... That was... A few hundred was the lowest amount Naruto can use. That's for normal clones. The most he can create is enough to cover the entire village. Around over 100,000 clones of him, though those were normal clones, which chakra cost is stupidly low. So 100,000 didn't even take 60% of his chakra. Though Naruto would begin to practice more subtle arts like medical ninjutsu and poisons, along with even a bit of genjutsu. As Naruto would learn that the field of mirages, Naruto should try to use the chakra formation to hopefully try to make genjutsu real. Using some genjutsu as a base, such as the tree binding technique, Naruto could use that as a base and surround the genjutsu with a large amount of chakra, making it, instead of an illusion, Naruto could make it reality. Of course, if you wanted to add color, it would take far more chakra. Though yeah, that's what Naruto figured out about it. Naruto would also be able to learn, or at least practice, some new jutsu. Though these weren't very good ones, as Naruto couldn't use large amounts of water, or tornadoes of wind, or even the newly discovered Nine-Tailed Chakra Cloak mastered at level 1. Naruto didn't have much to learn. As Naruto began to grow irritated at the Anbu, Naruto would continue to try to think of a way, until Naruto realized something. What if he compressed so much chakra like what he did with the normal... what he did with chakra formation for genjutsu, but instead of genjutsu, he uses it on the normal clone jutsu. So Naruto would begin to work on that. Around one time a day for like a few minutes, Naruto would try to turn a normal clone with even more chakra than like enough for a few hundred clones into just one, like enough chakra for 1,000 clones into one clone, though it didn't work. Though it did create a solid structure of him, Naruto wasn't able to get it to move very much or as easily. So Naruto would decide that maybe the wind element would help, though all that did was destroy the clone, until Naruto got sick of it and decided to try to, learn an actual clone jutsu. As Naruto would know that the Earth Element's clones would probably be the most sturdy, Naruto would begin to work on the Earth Element clone, which, surprisingly, he made a mud clone extremely quickly. Though it was a mud clone. Though these were sturdy, they were weaker than the user by around 95%, only having 5% of the original user's power. Though to Naruto, that was more than enough for a normal academy student. Naruto would then be able to use that as a substitute to get stronger. As Naruto would grow stronger while training, Naruto didn't want to attract any Anbu with his presence. By presence, he means Nine-Tails chakra. So Naruto began working on Funjutsu more than before. Naruto began creating chakra suppression seals and chakra detection seals, then reverse engineered the chakra detection seals and turned them into seals that blocked out the use of sensing chakra. Naruto would continue to try this for a while and would soon figure out what to do. Though the chakra suppression seals or the chakra detection seals in reverse didn't work very well, he could still use the normal form of the chakra cloak for the Nine-Tails in the mastered state without detecting any sensors. As it wasn't Konoha that had the best sensors, the best they had was the Byakugan, which isn't even sensory. So Konoha never decided to have a sensory squad. Instead, they just had Hyuga around. Naruto would soon be able to use the barrier along with his own abilities to increase the power of the barrier, even managing to use demonic arts, demonic barrier, which was a barrier that was so strong that it would take 100 slashes at the same spot from a wind-enhanced sword to break that spot. That just proves that it's overpowered. Anyways, Naruto would soon learn even more until Naruto realized something. With this progress, it was still slower than before. He still had to limit himself and couldn't master the Nine-Tails chakra. Naruto needed to grow stronger. Naruto needed to get better. And it's been 7 months. Luckily, Kurama is able to give Naruto more advice now that it's the next year. So Kurama began preparing a quest. Using all 3 of the tips he has, Kurama began constructing a quest for Naruto, which is possible by sacrificing 1 point from the double rewards, 1 point from along with all 3 points from the tips. Kurama can create a quest with only advice as the last reward, though no XP. So yeah, Kurama figured that he could just do that. Though Naruto did use the dungeons for training, Naruto couldn't do that much, since still, if he went missing for that long, as his mud clone could only stay out for 30 minutes before needing to be replaced, Naruto for the demonic dungeons would likely take around 40 minutes. So Naruto still had yet to increase the durability or longevity, of the mud clone. Until a new quest came. It was the quest to create the blood clone jutsu. The quest had multiple instructions on it which Naruto followed. As it was very difficult, Naruto, though, after practicing every day and even completing 2 parts of the quest, after 2 weeks, Naruto managed to finally create the blood clone, which then after making the blood clone jutsu, advice popped out. As the advice was, use the blood clones to make a substitute for weeks on end to practice the Nine-Tails chakra. Of course, Kurama didn't want Naruto to not trust the tips. Since he was the Nine Tails and Naruto probably wouldn't listen to him like that. So Kurama had to state it like it was advice from the system. So yeah, Naruto would be able to withstand creating a blood clone for lasting around 1 week. Though the blood clone jutsu was leveling up, Naruto's blood recovered at a fast rate. So the blood clone jutsu requiring around a cup worth of blood, Naruto could do it. Though it was difficult for him. The luckily using the blood clone jutsu was like the water clone jutsu. Though instead of water, it was blood. Though the amount of blood was only a fifth of the amount of water needed for the water clone jutsu. As the water clone jutsu was simply water in the outside covering a chakra construct. Same for the blood clone, but instead of that, Naruto, most of the blood clone is created from chakra, only having blood around it to allow it to sustain itself for much longer. As no matter how much chakra you put into a shadow clone, at max it could only last around 5 days, as it doesn't have enough blood, if any blood actually, so it would be lucky if it even survived 5 days. So yeah, Naruto would manage to train and would gain more control over demonic chakra. As Naruto would reach level 67, Naruto would be able to choose a perk. As Naruto had reached 120 wisdom, which Naruto has not been getting extra points in wisdom since he reached level 75. So yeah, not even when Naruto reached level 100 did he get any extra point for when he leveled up, but now it explains why. Naruto's leveled up 40 or has 45 more points in wisdom than the last extra point per level, and Naruto gains a perk, as the perk would allow Naruto to, basically find something out. As wisdom usually accommodates to knowledge, and what he does, more like what you do with knowledge, Naruto's wisdom point will allow him to learn one of anything, which Naruto thought hard about. What could he think of? As Naruto would continue thinking and thinking until he realized something. Why not just try to get the answer for how to, leave the village, or basically just how to enhance the time for his blood clone and what the maximum is, as the system would then reply with this. How you increase the blood clone's time of being out is by, putting more chakra into it or leveling it up. The max amount of time you can have it out for is around a year, which is when Naruto began to practice with the blood clone. Naruto had seen very little progress before with it, but now that he's unlocked the knowledge about it, which unlocked the new perk that allowed him to level up the blood clone much faster, by 5 times to be exact. In the matter of a month of pure non-stop training for the blood clone, Naruto allowed it to reach level 50, which was its max. Though Naruto still didn't have the chakra reserves to use it at its highest, as if Naruto used half of his chakra, the blood clone could only last around 4 months at most, as each week longer a blood clone is able to last, the chakra amount increases by around 33%, which was a large amount of chakra as an increase. So yeah, if Naruto's normal blood clone took around 1% of his chakra, increasing it by like 10 times, which is around 330%, and reminder that all of that is separate. Even if it wasn't, it would still increase to 4%, and that's just 10 weeks. And Naruto's would be around 20 weeks. So 20 weeks, yeah, that's gonna be a long time. For Naruto's chakra consumption for it is of course. Basically, like by that time, Naruto's chakra reserves drained from it is quite high. Also, it performs a consistent drain on chakra for Naruto, as the amount of chakra Naruto spends on a blood clone, it's not possible to regenerate, so Naruto would stay at 50% of his total chakra reserves for basically ever. Anyways, Naruto would continue training for the next few months, reaching level 70 in the progress, as Naruto would continue to search for powerful enemies, as he could only find B-rank shinobi at best. Naruto would then remember that if he attacked a hidden village, he would be able to do something. As there were only 6 months left before the graduation exam, Naruto would decide that he should continue training, at least for a while, as Naruto would create another blood clone after the current one dispelled, of course after a week, so his chakra reserves could regenerate back to 100%. Naruto would decide that after a lot of planning, the best spot to go was the Land of Water, more so the Bloody Mist Village, as people wouldn't really be missed there, as ninja died day and night. So yeah, Naruto would soon make it to the Hidden Mist or the Land of Water in 1 week, as Naruto would search for a powerful ninja to fight. Though the Hidden Mist was very unruly, at least to the other villages, the Hidden Mist had a police system. Basically, if wandering Ronin or shinobi that did not belong to a hidden village come along, they had the chance to claim bounties, which Naruto would soon find out that this could also be considered a quest, so by doing it, he leveled up. As Naruto would figure that out, Naruto would get excited, though Naruto couldn't level up much by searching for a powerful ninja, which Naruto would also be able to kill, though not gain XP. Naruto would gain a huge cash reward, which Naruto can use to buy supplies, along with make a name for himself. Though Naruto would realize that he needed a disguise, which Naruto would find out that his shape-shifting jutsu, which would keep him at 1% chakra down from 50% permanently as long as it was on, and it couldn't regenerate above that, which to Naruto, that didn't matter. As long as he had the disguise on, it would work, as Naruto would then transform into a masked man. No, not Madara, though the mask was a blank mask with, red markings on it, at least around it. Things like striped markings on it, though Naruto had black hair behind it in a long fashion flow. His hair was pretty long and messy and distinct, as Naruto would also have his sword, the demonic blade, which Naruto got from the demonic dungeon. This blade actually gave Naruto better demonic control, along with the ability to channel demonic chakra into the blade without it falling apart. So yeah, Naruto was basically thinking he was ready for this, though Naruto never knew how chaotic the hidden mist was. Naruto would begin to hunt down ninja that were of A rank, and would soon find out that due to it being a quest, Naruto would be able to, if the enemy was around 1 kilometer around him, Naruto would be able to see a marking around them, allowing him to always keep track of them, which Naruto was very thankful for, as Naruto wouldn't know which one to go after otherwise. Naruto would realize that there was a few of them. Kiri had multiple great swordsmen, and Kiri even had some that held 8 blades. Though, other than in Kenjutsu, they sucked pretty much at everything else, which is why they were only Tokubetsu Jonin, even though they could beat Jonin any day of the week. Here, Naruto would then decide to go after the swordsman that had a unique one-sword style. The person called it the Void style of the sword, as he could simply use chakra into the blade and use it as some sort of void, sucking his enemies towards it, along with powering the blade up in a dark aura, firing dark blade slashes towards his enemies. As this shinobi was only named a A-rank ninja due to his, unique sword style, as the Hidden Mist still refused to promote him to Jonin, so he defected. As Naruto would look around for the swordsman, Naruto would then finally, after arriving in a town, after he decided to go rest, Naruto would be woken up to see the town on fire, along with multiple weaker and lower level shinobi around the town, with a target on someone on a mountain, as Naruto would realize that it was just his luck that when he wasn't looking for the person he was hunting, that they appeared. As Naruto would jump towards the battlefield, and Naruto would spot the enemy ninja. Luckily, the A-rank shinobi, which was called Kokaro, was still too cocky to get involved himself, more so watching as his lackeys did the job. Naruto would take out the demon blade and would begin to kill the enemy shinobi. After a few of them died, the others realized that some of their forces were dying out, as they would begin to fight Naruto. Naruto would kick and knock them away, slashing towards them with his demons hunter blade. Well, more a demon blade, but yeah. Naruto would easily be able to take them out, as a few of them shot water bullets towards him. Though Naruto simply stated, "Wind style, 20 wind jets," as 20 wind jets would go and counter the water bullets, as Naruto would say, "Wind style, whirlwind step," as Naruto would move at extremely fast speeds, arriving in the middle of the shinobi or lackeys in less than 2 seconds, as Naruto would say, water style or wind style, wind destruction sphere, as a sphere of wind would go around the mall and would cut the bandits down. As Naruto wasn't shocked by their deaths due to the gamer system, Naruto would easily take another few out, as Naruto would see a few more in front of him, but would also see that the enemy that he was after, Kokoro, was right in front of him. Well, behind the ninja, that is. As Naruto would then see a wave of black energy go through a few of the lackeys and coming right towards him, Naruto would barely be able to dodge, as then in a flash of darkness, Naruto would see Kokoro right next to him, as Kokoro would say, so you're the enemy? I expected someone stronger. I suppose I'll just kill you now. As Kokoro would then attack Naruto in a diagonal slash, Naruto would counter it with a wind-enhanced slash himself, knocking or actually making a cut into Kokoro's special blade. As Kokoro would say, interesting. Even for someone as young as you, you seem to be powerful. How about you join me? If you join me, you can get anything you want. You don't have to follow those laws anymore. As Naruto would say, hell no. I'm after your bounty, which is more than enough. As Kokoro would say, I suppose my 700,000 Rio bounty is quite high, though I suppose I'll just have to kill you. As Kokoro and Naruto would clash once more, Naruto would say, you might be good, though not enough. As Kokoro would say, well, take this. Slash of the void. 10 slashes. As 10 slashes made out of black energy came towards Naruto, as Naruto said, I don't know what those elements are, though I'll just use normal barriers then. Barrier level 2, kunai barrier. As Naruto would throw 2 kunai down in front of him, as they would create a barrier which blocked the void slashes and didn't even crack. As Naruto would use Whirlwind Step and would nearly cut Kokoro's hand off, as Kokoro would say, darn it, you made me good, though you'll still lose, you brat. As Kokoro would then say this, field of darkness. As this, unlike the hidden mist jutsu, it surrounded Naruto in a dark mist, and Naruto would suddenly see the marker of Kokoro appear in a different spot. Naruto didn't even see it move, though Naruto would block it, as Kokoro would say, now the real battle begins. In the range of this mist, my speed increases by over 20-fold. You lose. As the real battle began, Naruto could barely even track him. Naruto, even with the Whirlwind Step, wasn't even close to his level of speed. And worst of all, when Naruto tried to leave the mist, Naruto was simply attacked. Naruto was always knocked back if he attempted to escape the mist. As Kokoro would say, I'll finish this now. Secret art. 1,000 void slashes. As multiple void clones, well, shadow, or you know what, shadow clones already exist. I was trying to think of like a clone that is actually made out of shadows, not just chakra. So I'll just say darkness clones. As non-darkness clones would appear around Naruto, they would all, well, attack Naruto with 100 void slashes, all going around Naruto, moving in different places. As Naruto would see that he was surrounded, Naruto couldn't find any way to escape this. As Naruto said, I didn't want to reveal this, so I guess I'm forced to, eh? Guess it's tough luck for me being level 70. As Naruto would say, demonic arts, demonic mimicry, demonic chakra cloak, stage 1. As instead of using stage 0, which only surrounded Naruto in purple chakra, Naruto got surrounded in a purple chakra cloak with one tail. As Naruto would use the one tail to slash away through the void blades. As Naruto would say, the true battle has only just begun. So yeah, this is gonna be the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed. So yeah, I made this I'm pretty sure over 30 minutes long already, so pretty sure that's a long amount of time. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video and make sure to like and subscribe if you didn't already. Also go subscribe to a friend of mine called Coxus, who plays Roblox. More so Arsenal and Beast One Simulator, so yeah. His channel link is in the description. And anyways, peace out.